welcome to the Atrium on GreenBayPackerNation.com. Today is Sunday, May 3rd, and it's Christmas in April. Of course, the big news story is the NFL Draft has come and gone. Green Bay Packers fans are ecstatic with the addition of 8 players to our team, many of which could make a starting contribution, all of which are making our team better right now, at least by upping the competition. The way this draft went down, I think, was a shock to most who have watched Ted Thompson draft in the past, but we did, in the end, still pick up a full 8 players. I'm going to read those out from top to bottom, or not from top to bottom, but these are the players that we added. We got nose tackle B.J. Raji at number 9. We also picked up outside linebacker Clay Matthews. We picked up offensive lineman T.J. Lang and Jamon Meredith, fullback Quinn Johnson, defensive end Jarius Wynn, outside linebacker Brad Jones, and cornerback Brandon Underwood. We're going to be talking about each of those guys in successive editions of the Atrium, but right now I just wanted to list them all out. Today we're going to spotlight, of course, B.J. Raji, our pick at number 9, fantastic nose tackle out of Boston College. But the draft was a little bit interesting. Of course, seeing B.J. Raji still on the board at number 9, I think, sent a thrill through the Green Bay Packer Nation. But there was also a little bit of hesitation, and Green Bay Packer Nation is now on Twitter, and I think I tweeted at the time, Thompson's going to pick Crabtree. We had gotten inside information that Michael Crabtree was the Packers' top-rated player in this year's draft. Of course, we've seen in the past that Ted Thompson drafts the best player available. He said it over and over and over again, but he made absolutely the right call. Rather than glutting our receiver core, which is already fantastic, with Michael Crabtree, who is a little bit of a doorknob, from what we understand from some of his meetings and interviews, we grabbed B.J. Raji, the nose tackle out of Boston College, that immediately makes our defense better, and I think Packers fans on the whole were absolutely excited about this pick. So that was our number 9 pick, and then the crazy thing happened at the end of the first round when New England Patriots were on the board, and suddenly the Packers fans realized, wait a minute, we're picking again at number 26. And Ted Thompson, against all odds and against his track record, stepped in, moved up, picked up outside linebacker Clay Matthews, a guy who's got all the pedigree, but he doesn't live off his pedigree. He was a walk-on at USC. He is a special teams ace. He is a killer, and he is going to make our special teams better. This guy can step in and start opposite Aaron Campman as outside linebacker, and once again we saw our defense just improve. And with those cornerbacks in the backfield, we know quarterbacks are not going to have that much time anyway. If B.J. Raji can be collapsing the pocket on our outside linebackers, we still have A.J. Hawk. We still have some talent on that D-line if Cullen Jenkins comes back healthy. We've got Ryan Pickett. I'm going to mention it again later, do not forget about Justin Harrell. If this guy can get his act together, all the physicals say he can be a player as well. Our defense has made leaps and bounds, and of course the improvement of our defense, I'll say it again, began with the hiring of Dom Capers, Kevin Green, the guys that are going to coach up all of these new players. And so, again, I think virtually all of the Packer Nation was excited about this draft pick. Now, the downside to that was Ted Thompson had to trade away our 2nd-round pick and both 3rd-round draft picks. So, hey, if you were like me, watching the whole first day go by after those 2 big picks was a little difficult, and you found yourself sort of kind of weighing whether it was worth it, because we know Ted Thompson's strength is to pick up very good value picks. So trading 3 for 1 gave me a little hesitation, but when you look at what he got, and I think Ted Thompson, with his ability to scout and the network he puts out, he's a high-class operation in terms of picking out talent and evaluating. I think he did the right thing. After the second day came and went, and we saw the addition of a couple offensive linemen. We got a cornerback. And linemen that were a steal. I mean, T.J. Lang, give me a break. He could be a starter. and the fact that we picked up some defensive ends. We still addressed need in on the second day, but we got what we absolutely had to have, pass rush, and we needed B.J. Raji to anchor at the nose. Overall, all in all, a fantastic draft for the Packers. Of course, there's still a lot to be seen and a lot to be said and a lot to be done by these guys coming in. But I think our staff, with Redding heading up the strength and conditioning end of it, we are primed to go for it all right now. That being said, hey, there's a lot of games. There's still 16 games to be played. There's still a lot of preseason. There's still injuries. But it's good to see our Packer team really coming together the way they did. I think if you were like me, you really didn't expect much. We knew we were picking at number 9, so you knew you were going to get a good player. I did not expect to see all the guys on the board that were on the board at number 9. We want to give a thank you in a sort of backhanded way to the Raider Nation for wasting a pick so that we could go ahead and bump up like 3 guys that we could really use and make the pick that we wanted. But this draft, 2009, I believe, was by far Ted Thompson's best. He actually traded up. This is the first time we saw Ted Thompson relax, get the guy he wanted in his first pick at number 9, and then target another guy that he wanted very much and give up what it took to go and get that player. That was one question that was still in the minds of many Packer fans about Ted Thompson. When the guy we needed was there, could he get the job done and make the trades necessary to get that man? And I think he did it. Our defense is better for it. Hey, and a shout out. I'll give all the praise to Ted Thompson. Did a great job, and of course he will then pass, as he always does, the praise on to his network of evaluators. But we are ecstatic about what happened in this year's draft. One caveat, though, there is word out there that Ted Thompson was prepared to take Clay Matthews at the number 9 spot if B.J. Raji was off the board, which would have meant we may have been scratching our heads seriously if we had taken Clay Matthews at number 9, depending, of course, on who was still on the board. But the way the several players that were still on the board with Michael Crabtree and things like that, it could have been very interesting if B.J. Raji had not been passed up at the number 5, and the Raiders didn't take him. It could have been interesting. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but it sounds to me like Ted Thompson was just that serious about Clay Matthews. But hey, it all went our way. Revel in it, enjoy it, bask in the sunlight, and we will move on because there's other news out there. There have also been 11 free agent signings by the Packers. We said, Green Bay Packer Nation from the beginning on our Twitter account said, Ted Thompson is not done here. He is always out looking for talent, and he is always quick in the undrafted free agent market. 11 players signed by the Packers. One of note that I want to mention, you probably have heard, Jamarco Simmons. This guy's a wide receiver out of Western Michigan, following in the great footsteps of Greg Jennings. This guy's 6'2", 231 pounds. He's got a big frame. He knows what he's doing, but get this. He broke 3 of Greg Jennings' records, receiver records, at Western Michigan. And Greg Jennings is on record as saying he is excited that Jamarco is going to be in camp, that he's going to help him, he's going to bring him up. He didn't pull the Brett Favre thing, oh, it's not my job to coach these guys up. Greg Jennings has no fear for his job. He is willing to come in and coach up Jamarco, give him all the ins, all the outs, how to make his moves, when to make his breaks, how to disguise his cuts. We may have picked up a wide receiver that can really contribute at the NFL level. Of course, this remains to be seen. The cut on